This is Raider for On the Raider Entertainment Blog, coming to another edition of Movie Reviews and Observations number 72. Due to unseen foreseen circumstances with storms in the Midwest area leading to power outages, ComEd not realizing a tree fell on a line until like 2 days later they took care of it. It was hard to watch many movies when you don't have power Tuesday night, Wednesday night, and Thursday nights. You got to make choices of what you're going to do with your laptop. Are you going to work on your website, watch TV when your DVR's piling up, or are you going to watch movies? So that was my decision. So the first movie I watched was Unhinged. And it was some sort of political statement about road rage and people having their worst moments when they get angry when they're driving and they can take it out on you or the other person next to you and all that other nonsense. And they're like, okay, cool. So yeah, basically something happened to him in his life and he had a breaking point and his goal was to screw this lady over. So it's like kill her lawyer friend, kill her friends, her neighbors, try to kill her brother's girlfriend, fiance, try to take her son out. And I'm watching the movie and I'm first like, okay, it looks like this girl's very young, and that could be her younger siblings because one of the boys was talking to his mother in like a nursing home situation. So I'm like, I don't really think that woman would be that old in a nursing home situation that her son looks like he's 18 or 19, like he's not that old, and that she looks like she's in her mid to late 20s for her to be in a nursing home. So that was where then finding out that this woman is her and her brother live together, and that the little boy who's like in middle school or elementary school is her actual son and not her brother was a little bit confusing. And it was really cool to see the Jimmy Simpson from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, one of the McBoyle brothers. But overall, the only positive thing about this movie, it was 80 something minutes and it was a lot of car scenes and chasing and action and stuff. But it was just a horribly put together movie. I'm sorry, Russell Crowe. Then I watched the movie Prevenge, where it's telling me it's certified fresh Rotten Tomatoes, about this woman who supposedly wrote, directed, produced this whole entire movie. It's called Prevent, where her baby's telling her to kill all the people that wronged her, and she get a joy out of killing people. And then, of course, at the end of the movie, because I'm glad it was only 90 minutes, the baby doesn't talk to her anymore, and she goes, okay, that's it. So yeah, that's the whole movie. I was like, okay, that was a waste of time. Stupid Rotten Tomatoes. How's that certified fresh? Then another Bruce Willis movie where he is barely in the movie, barely doing anything, and I'm so exhausted and tired, I missed some of the scenes. Because quite frankly, the movie was two guys are bank robbers. One of them gets shot when they get too greedy robbing a convenience store, and they need a doctor, and Chad Michael Murray is playing a doctor in this movie, so it's nice that he's in a movie because he hasn't been in many things recently, but he wasn't that believable. And then they kill off Bruce Willis's wife, who barely was in the movie, so she was a non-factor. Bruce Willis barely spoke. He's a former sheriff, cop, whatever. He's trying to handle the situation. Chad Michael Murray's trying to handle it, so his kid and his wife, because of the financial situation of living there, happens to be coincidental. And all these movies go, either the robbers get out and survive and get away and they kill everybody, or the robbers die or they get arrested. That's pretty much how it is. Pretty much outside of the mother dying in the movie, everybody survives the night, Obviously, Bruce Willis and Michael Murray survived the night, and that's how the movie ends. It's like, okay, glad this was only, 80-something minutes because it's not that great of a movie. Then the next movie I watched was the movie called Coma. And I thought, okay, this is interesting, and I was thinking that it's science fiction, it's going to be very cool, but when you're looking at all the actors and all the information in the movie, it is super, foreign. You're like, okay, it was a German movie, so I'm expecting the movie to be, subtitles. And I'm like, okay, I can guess I'll sit through subtitles when I was camped out at Starbucks. Nope. For this hour and 47-minute movie on the box, it actually was an hour and 50-something minutes, so again, box was lying. It was about an architect who wakes up in a dream world where he realizes he's in a coma, and the laws of physics don't apply to him, and it's all built up by your memories and things like that. But then there are reapers that are trying to kill you, or I guess wake you up and you're gone. So it's based on people's memories. The laws of physics don't count to anybody. And he's an architect, so obviously everybody in this movie also has hidden powers, and he's building stuff. And you're like, okay, cool. He's got to save the day in the coma world, maybe wake up, blah, 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 blah. But then it turns into the fact that he was making architectural plans for a cult religion, and these people were put in here without actual permission, and there's different people that didn't know they're put in here, and the guy who's leading the group is the actual cult leader, and the whole movie was to try to wake up before he kills you in real life and tries to take over and stuff. And I was like, okay, so there's a lot going on. And the other thing is, it was dubbed, so people's mouths were talking so much quicker than the actual dialogue. It was a little bit weird and jarring, and it was okay, but I feel like they complicated the movie and undersold how good the movie was it could be, because there was just way too much stuff going on. But it was way more interesting than any of these previous three movies I told you about before. The movie I kind of liked this week was a very naughty movie in a way, where it was called Nice Girl or Nice Girl Like You, however you want it, where Lucy Hale, who was wrongfully canceled on her show Katie Keene, which I'll never get that, is this good girl where she's like a violin player, and she's in a quartet when they play instruments at weddings and other stuff, and she's trying to be a famous violin player, like try out for the stuff. And she's in a group of friends that play the violin, and one of them is Mindy Cohn, who we all know from Facts of Life. We haven't seen her in a while, and then this other woman who's like really horny and always talking about dating and having sex and stuff. And then this Middle Eastern dude who I'm watching him, and I'm like, he's British, I guess. He's, I guess, a British citizen. And I'm like, oh wait, that's Al from United States of Al, where now we all know he doesn't have a Middle Eastern accent. He's actually British. So a little bit jarring to see that. And the movie is her boyfriend is watching porn, and she goes, that's nuts. You shouldn't be doing that. It's either me or the porn, and he picks the porn over her. And she then, because she's a compulsive person with lists, she makes all these lists, and she never finishes them and stuff. And her goal was to open up a little bit more, so things like strip clubs, brothels, sex toys, pornos, all these things, just to open up her world to this stuff. Because like Mindy Cohn's like, I've been married for a while, this and this, then her single friend and the other friend who's single, and things like that. So it was an interesting rom-com with a little different twist. And then she meets somebody who happens to work with the dude from United States of Al, and they kind of hit it off, but then things go a little awry there. But overall, like all rom-coms, the guy and the girl who are destined to be with each other are with each other. Things work out for her and him and the other characters. And yeah, it was pretty cool. I thought there was a really original idea. And when it's not that long, 90 minutes, and there's actors you've seen before from other TV shows or movies, you're like, okay, cool. I would definitely suggest it if you like rom-coms. Then I watched One Cut of the Dead, which is supposedly about a movie where low-budget zombie movies being filmed, and while they're filming it, a real zombie apocalypse happens, and the director's like, keep rolling, and I'm like, okay, that's a cool thing. It's only 90 minutes. It's not going to take that long. And here's the other thing, though. This is a Japanese or Chinese movie, but I'm looking at it, I'm like, supposedly it's made in Asia, but there's no subtitles again. It was dubbed. So I was like, okay, I got your break. I don't have to watch subtitles. But then they're like, the voices again don't match up, and you're like, okay, cool. Then, after the zombies attack, you're like, okay, are they going to survive the zombies? Who's going to survive the rest of this 90-minute movie? And all of a sudden, they flash back to the past, where this director was told to film a zombie movie, but then it's a zombie movie on top of a zombie movie, where the movie is about filming a zombie movie, and then you think a zombie apocalypse happened, but it's all fake. And they're all planning it out, and they're showing you all the planning from all the people in the movie and all the other characters. And I'm like, that's a cool original idea. And again, certified Rotten Tomatoes certifies. I'm like, I would rather them, try to survive the zombies while they're filming a zombie movie than it to actually be a whole entire hoax of them pretending to be attacked by zombies while filming a zombie movie. So, yeah. So outside of like Coma being like over the top and a little bit too much in the movie, and One Cut of That having some sort of interesting take on horror film, it's really A Nice Girl Like You is the only quality movie I watched, and I don't think it was that quality. I think it was just okay and interesting. But yeah, One Cut of the Dead and Coma were interesting, and you don't have to watch subtitles. Do not try to survive the night with Bruce Willis's movie. It's not one of his best. It's straight to movie. And then Prevenge, not that great. Sorry, certified fresh, Rotten Tomatoes. And don't watch on Hinge, even if you like Russell Crowe. Thanks for listening to another edition of Movie Reviews and Observations, number 72. For On the Radar Entertainment Blog, I'm Radar. See you guys next time.